I've been back and playing the Blood Knight for about a month now inside of Diablo Immortal, and I decided that I would hop into the game and break down my build for you as it currently sits. A lot of this because of the comment section, people looking for my build and looking to see exactly what it looks like when I play as the Blood Knight. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing here today, starting with the skills. I'm running Shadow's Edge, and then, that's our primary, then Siphon Blood, Swarm of Bats, Mephitic Cloud, and Sanguigate. Sanguigate is going to be used for our mobility, as is Swarm of Bats. The way I have it built out, it is big mobility skill. And on top of that, it's a healing skill. Siphon Blood for AoE damage and for healing. And Mephitic Cloud gives me a little bit of cover and safety. And Shadow's Edge I absolutely love as an attack. It's a great attack to use. What I'll be doing here is I'm going to be taking you through each of the pieces of gear, showing you what I have, what essences I am using, and then I'll do a little bit of open world farming so you can see the build in action. Starting things off, we have a charm that we actually started to build out fairly decent. We got Siphon Blood, Sanguigate, and Mephitic Cloud, all plus 2%. You can see that I am going right here with a Vithu's Urges 2-piece. This is going to increase the duration of all of my beneficial effects on my party and me by 30%. And in addition to that, I'm wearing a 4-piece Grace of the Flagellant. All continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage is increased by 15%. And each time you damage an individual enemy 5 times, you will do 9,517 additional damage to that enemy. All right, if you want to see what Paragon Tree, actually, here we go. Paragon Tree, I use Gladiator, but I also use Treasure Hunter. Gladiator I use when I'm just going to be going into battles. Treasure Hunter I'll utilize if I'm going to be going into some type of a just open world farming situation, which is what I'm going to be doing. All right, Horn of the Hexed. My gems will slightly be changing. Right now I'm using a Seeping Bile, but I think I'm going to switch out the Seeping Bile or my Blood-Soaked Jade for a Viper's Bite, which is a 2-star gem. Once I decide on that, I will bring you another update on the build. But as you can see, it's more important here, not the gems, but the essences. This essence, Grimsley Pilgrim, Siphon Blood is no longer channeled and now moves with you, dealing damage and draining the life of nearby enemies. Siphon Blood damage increased by 18%. I absolutely love this because I'm able to move around with a ring around me and drop damage as I move. Then we're coming in with an awakened piece of gear. If you don't know how to awaken gear, let me know in the comments and I can put out a video on that. This is the Christophrian Trade. Sorry about the pronunciation. Rocking a level 10 1-star Berserker's Eye inside of this one. Swarm of Bats damage is increased by 19%. And then Swarm of Bats is increased by another 10% because of the Awakening for a 29% buff. Love the Awakened gear. My goal here in going with 1- and 2-star gems is to awaken all of my slots so I can get all of those buffs. Solemn Snare for our shoulders. We're going with a 1-star rank 10 trick shot gem, and right here the legendary attribute, the Blood Swarm of Bats now shrouds you in a fog of bloody mist, increasing your movement speed and making you untargetable while also dealing damage to nearby enemies. Swarm of Bats damage is increased by 18%, and Swarm of Bats cooldown is reduced by 10%. So we are getting massive buffs to Swarm of Bats, but it's also worth noting this is going to heal me, the bats, but in addition to that, this is going to make me move a lot faster and I'm invulnerable for about 3 seconds. This means I take 0 damage for 3 seconds no matter where I am. That is huge in saving my life all the time. Moving on to the pants, we're going with Oversight. We have a Blood-Soaked Jade rank 4 that's slotted there for now. That could change. Here, this is where we're going to get the healing from the Swarm of Bats. Swarm of Bats now also heals you for 28.5% of the damage that you deal. So drop the bats, drop a lot of damage, and then you're going to be able to steal that health back to you. It's my favorite thing about the Blood Knight. I absolutely love how when you're playing as the Blood Knight, you're able to heal up. When switching back to the Barbarian, although maybe I sometimes feel like I drop more damage with the Barbarian, it doesn't have that healing mechanic. And I really can stay alive much longer with a Blood Knight than I can with any other class because of the healing mechanics that it has worked into the build. We're going to go with our first primary, Cruel Vendetta. This is sitting with probably my lowest gem. a rank 4, 2-star Iron Bane gem. This one, Shadow's Edge damage is increased by 38%. Very simple. My primary attack, the damage is increased by 38%. Simple, straightforward. The attack is super strong, both a melee and a ranged attack all in one. Absolutely love it, and I'll take the 38% extra damage anytime. Then we're going with our secondary piece of gear, Hanging Chalice. We're going with the rank 6, 2-star Pain Clasp gem. Looking forward to getting that one up to rank 10. Legendary attribute. After Shadow's Edge hits an enemy, 2 blades ricochet out, randomly targeting nearby enemies and dealing another nearly 14,000 damage. And damage is increased by 90%. This is crazy, making my primary attack so strong. I feel like with a lot of classes and a lot of builds, we neglect the primary attack and we use our skills over and over. But with the Blood Knight and with this build, you're able to utilize your primary attack and actually have it be viable as well. In doing this, I shoot straight forward, it hits an enemy, 2 projectiles hit out, and it's able to actually do a lot of damage to them as well, and plus the extra 90%. Then because we are a Paragon 800 plus, we've unlocked these stances. If you're wondering why there are 8 pieces of gear, it's because we are Paragon 800 plus. If you're below that, you will unlock stances as you get higher. Here we're going with the Reverent Hunter, and we have a rank 7, 2-star Fervent Fang. This is the gem I'm trying to awaken the slot of next. Here we're going to, with our essence, Siphon Blood, also slows enemy movement by 30%, absorbing their vigor and increasing your movement speed by 10% up to 30%. Siphon Blood damage is increased by 9%. So it's dropping more damage with Siphon Blood. It's making us faster, and you know that I love speed. And it's making the enemy movement be negated less. And then lastly, our secondary piece is Moon Call with a rank 6, 2-star Mother's Lament. Legendary attribute here, Shadow's Edge also increases your primary attack speed by 10% for 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. This is awesome because we already talked about how Shadow's Edge primary attack is so strong. Now we're getting it to be strong and attack faster. Up to 3 times it'll stack as well. And the damage increase for Shadow's Edge is another 9% on top of the 38% that we're getting here, which is a huge damage buff. Take a look at all this right here. My combat rating only sits at 22,716. And if you want to take even a closer look at me right here, if we come on over, you will see that my resonance is not high, 1,643. And when I take out either the Seeping Bile or the Blood-Soaked Jade, it will go down even lower. But it's not something that I'm worried about because I don't personally worry about resonance. I'd prefer to awaken my slots like I have these 2 right here. But that's exactly what I wanted to show you for the build. But now I want to take the build into a little bit of farming action so you can see what this looks like. Allow me to grab my controller, which for some reason was sitting on the floor. All right, I do much prefer playing on a screen, like on my phone or my tablet, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to play on the PC, which in that case, I like using the controller. So we're gonna come over here, hopefully no one is farming. We're just gonna keep on making our way through, and we're gonna just drop tons of damage. Just check this out. If I wanna go fast, oh, yes, I will join your party. Okay. Cool, now we're working together. We'll farm a little bit together here too. Swarm of Bats, check out the speed I'm getting from Swarm of Bats. Then we could also come on over just with the primary attack, dropping tons of damage, all right? We can drop our Mephitic Cloud. That's gonna put us undercover. It's gonna make the enemies attack themselves. Nice, that worked out well. We got some here, we'll go with Swarm of Bats. Look at my movement speed, I can't be targeted. Once that's all done, I'll drop the Siphon Blood, take them down like nothing. It works extremely well. I'm gonna go to this corner to try and get in there by myself, get a little bit of speed. There we go. Just the primary attack. Look at this. Shredding the enemies just with the primary attack as well. Works out very nice. I think you guys are getting a good idea of how this build works. 2 skills for mobility, 1 skill I'm able to use to heal. Actually, two skills I can use to heal. And then we're able to use our cover, just like this right here. Notice I will not be targeted. They will target one another. Actually, I'm having my alchemical shrine, so they're not going to attack each other because they're frozen. but we're able to just kind of rip through everything just like that. I love the Blood Knight build. I'm actually considering next season not switching to Barbarian to claim the skin, and instead staying the Blood Knight to start unlocking some skills for the class that I've been playing the most. Taking one more look at the build right here before we bid adieu for the day. There you have it. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts on the Blood Knight build and if you're using the Blood Knight or whatnot. And if you ever have a class build that you want to share with me, make sure you come on through on Discord or on Twitter or in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to hook up with you guys so we could share your amazing builds as well. I'll see all you guys in tomorrow's video.